Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth, baby. Listen, we're about to get into this is a sad story. Before we get into this, shout out to the fraternities and sororities, but we have to have an honest conversation, okay? So, this is according to newsbreak.com. An investigation is underway into the mysterious death of a mechanical engineering student, Caleb Wilson, a junior at Southern University, who reportedly collapsed while participating in a ritual with his fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, at an off campus park in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. New Orleans station WVUE reported that Wilson fell during an exercise where students were forced to stand in line. It cited an unnamed source it described as familiar with the case. What caused Wilson to collapse is still unknown. Results from Wilson's autopsy are pending. He was unresponsive when a group of friends took him to Baton Rouge General Hospital early Thursday morning. Doctors pronounced Wilson dead and called the Baton Rouge police at 3:15 a.m., prompting a death investigation. In a statement, Southern University and A&M College said it was aware of an off-campus incident that may have resulted in the death of student Caleb Wilson, a junior from New Orleans majoring in mechanical engineering. The campus community extends condolences to his family, classmates, and loved ones. Southern is cooperating fully with the Baton Rouge Police Department, which is in charge of the investigation. The statement continues, no further information is available at this time. Wilson was a member of Human Jukebox, the school's marching band. He made his debut on trumpet in November 2023 at the 50th anniversary of the Bayou Classic. Wilson's father, Corey Wilson, is a part-time deputy with the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. He retired last year as a sergeant after working full-time for 35 years. One reporter covering Wilson's death placed the onus on Southern University, which she said dodged accountability when her father nearly lost his life in a hazing incident at the Louisiana HBCU. While he's alive, the brutal hazing left him paralyzed and blind. He is no longer paralyzed, but he's still blind and has fought tirelessly for decades to regain his sight, wrote law and crime reporter Kennedy Walker in a post on X. My family is sickened that decades later, Southern University has allowed this to happen again. I pray that, unlike my family, the victim's family gets the justice they deserve. Southern was never held accountable, nor were those responsible for what happened to my dad. It's beyond disgusting. Long identified as a problem, hazing remains a popular ritual on college campuses. The consequences are sometimes deadly, with at least 50 deaths blamed on hazing since 2020, and the numbers are increasing at an alarming rate. Commentators online express frustration that the practice continues. Hazing is supposed to be illegal. Outlaw fraternities and sororities, wrote one reader on Facebook. One commenter on X said Wilson's life could have been saved had someone stepped up. No one stopped it, he wrote. No one stepped in. Caleb Wilson, 20, collapsed in the middle of a fraternity ritual, and instead of dialing 911, they drove him to a hospital, unresponsive. His father, a high ranking officer, now faces the nightmare of burying his son. This should have never happened. One independent researcher said the number of hazing deaths since 2000 is actually 105, according to the Best Colleges report. And the numbers keep getting worse, with 40 occurring between 2007 and 2017. Nearly 80% of the deaths are tied to excessive alcohol consumption and fraternities. The girls and boys in fraternities and sororities, shout out to y'all. But what we're not going to do is pretend that hazing does not happen. Exhibit A. What we're not going to do is pretend that y'all go overboard with this hazing. It shouldn't even be happening, honestly. I remember at Texas Southern University, I was at lunch one day, and it was me. I want to say it was one of my friends. Y'all, some of y'all don't know her, but she's been in my comments. I think it was Java. I can't remember if it was Java. I know it was me and a bunch of girls because all I hung around was a girl. The boys didn't hang around me, so I know it was a table full of girls. Okay, it was me. I want to say it was my friend D from college. I think maybe even Granny. It was a few of us at the table, and it was this guy who was pledging Kappa. And we didn't know. Well, we heard. You know how you hear about certain people pledging, but you're really not supposed to know who's really online, who's pledging. And I remember him coming and asking, could he sit down? Because it was kind of packed in the cafeteria. I think he knew like some of the girls at the table, and it was probably even a couple of the straight boys too. And I remember him coming and him sitting down very, very slowly. And I remember looking at him, looking at people at the table like, girl, he clearly, girl, couldn't really sit down like a normal person. So the only thing that we could come up with was, girl, he must have been getting his whooped. Okay? Baby, your body is completely sore. You can't even sit down. Now, I wasn't here for this, but I remember hearing a story of this guy pledging, and he had to watch someone sleep. Now, that doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you really think about when people don't get enough sleep, that affects your day. If you don't get enough sleep and you're driving, you can get into a wreck, hurt yourself, hurt somebody else. You see what I'm saying? Girl, sleep is important. So again, we're not going to sit here and pretend that this does not happen. I understand it happens in white fraternities and sororities, but the fact of the matter is we're talking about a black fraternity right now. It happens all the time. Some people are probably going to get in the comment section, especially online on the blogs, trying to brush over this because they are in some of these fraternities and sororities. But like I know, and the ones who are probably defending it the most are the ones who probably also hazed someone. Yes, everybody who gets hazed does not, pass away. Some of them make it through, but one death is enough. And I think whoever was doing this, they should be held responsible. They should be held responsible. Yes. Whoever, Omega Psi Phi, whoever was out there doing this ritual, you should be held responsible. Somebody just died. Because y'all feel the only way somebody can become a part of your organization is to put them through hell and back. Somebody said that some people online are calling y'all cults and gangs. The initiation process, it ain't too far off. Y'all whooping ass and beating ass and killing people. Hello? Sorry. Sorry. It might not be every organization. Every organization may have not lost someone, but girl, there are deaths on the hands of these organizations. Some of them. And that hazing stuff needs to stop. Y'all are not going to learn y'all lesson. Well, clearly not. I was about to say y'all not going to learn y'all lesson since somebody passed away, but clearly y'all still ain't learned y'all lesson because y'all still hazing in 2025. This stuff has been going on a very long time. Hazing has been going on forever. And the people in fraternities and sororities know this. They know it. Some of them hate some of their sisters and brothers. Y'all know it. I hope the family is doing the best that they can. Somebody needs to be held responsible. Not only Southern University, but also Omega Psi Phi, and also the people who really had a hand in this young man's death. Yes, heads need to roll. They do. They do. All right. So this is according to the Neighborhood Talk. Tyra Banks addresses criticism of America's Next Top Model. We fought to bring diversity to the television show. Did we get it right? Hell no. Let's take a listen to what Miss Tyra Banks had to say.
Over 20 years ago, I created a television show called America's Next Top Model. And I fought, and you guys have no idea how hard we fought to bring the diversity to that television show at a time where it didn't exist, to show different beauties at a time when the world was like, what? You casting that and what? And what is that? A time when people in the fashion industry were telling me, oh, you putting them girls in the hood on your show? I was like, why can the girl from the trailer park become a supermodel, but the girl that's chilling in the park in the hood can't? And we fought and we struggled, but we made it happen. Did we get it right? Hell no, I said some dumb shit. But I refuse to have my legacy be about some stuff linked together on the internet when there were 24 cycles of changing the world. We all evolve. We all get better together. And
Don't I talk about this all the time? We evolve. We hopefully get better. We try and be better than the day before, right? We're brought into this world and we are taught to believe this, think this way.
I'm so excited that I and so many of us has opened that door for others to follow. And now my 51-year-old dimple, cellulite, bigger tummy, 10 million times bigger titties is walking through that door that I opened with all of us behind us on that runway saying, baby, it's just beginning. Thank you so much, Mama.
I love Tyra Banks. Let me tell y'all something. I used to be an America's Next Top Model fanatic. When I tell you I thought America's Next Top Model was the best show that had ever been created, I used to watch that show religiously. Do you hear me? I don't think that America's Next Top Model could exist today, especially with the things that used to happen on the show back in the day. Tyra used to say some problematic things. They used to have some problematic photo shoots. Girl, they had those girls doing blackface. Girl, I tell you, America's Next Top Model used to be on one. Yeah. Remember she told Yaya, I can't remember exactly what she told Yaya. Yaya was, some of y'all probably don't know, but Yaya was on the same season Eva. Shout out to Eva. Eva the Diva. Eva, some of you know Eva from Real Housewives of Atlanta, but Eva was actually introduced to us on America's Next Top Model. She won her season. And it was, remember, she kind of told Yaya, like, in a way that, like, she's too black in a way. And she also tried to tell her about, kind of like trying to bring her down a couple of notches as far as her education. Tyra used to say some problematic stuff. But this is the thing I will give Tyra. I do believe, and as messed up as it may sound, one, I want to say this about Tyra. Tyra was the person who really did put boys and girls in front of our faces and make us see a different side of beauty. I believe that a lot of those girls that were on America's Next Top Model, they would have never got the chance to one, feel beautiful, two, think they were beautiful, three, have a shot at being at models if it wasn't for Tyra Banks. Tyra used to put girls on the show that in real life people probably wouldn't think were gorgeous or beautiful. But then when you look at them on when I would look at them on our TV screens, I would be like, oh, Miss Thing is kind of bad. Oh, Miss Thing got it, right? I think Tyra did well in that aspect, giving the girls who would probably never have a chance, or the girls who were probably called weird looking, not beautiful, not gorgeous, not pretty, a chance at, at being a top model or being a model. Um, I do believe that Tyra, listen, from what they say, the modeling world is cutthroat. Y'all know how it goes. Not to make excuses for Tyra, but Tyra grew up in a world like the fact of the matter is, girl, you're not gonna be fat and be a model. It might be one. It might be one big girl, one plus size model. Tyra grew up at a time where there was like one black girl, one Asian girl. It might be a line of white girls that are top models, right? But it might be that one black girl at a time, that one Asian girl at a time, that one plus size model at a time. Some of the things that Tyra talked about on America's Next Top Model was things that she was taught. Not to say that it was right, but those are the things that she was taught. And sometimes her delivery would be off. But girl, would she be far from the truth? Remember when she told Danny? Some of y'all remember Danny? She won about her gap. Some people were offended, but the fact of the matter is, girl, gaps were not really too much considered. You couldn't be a cover girl with a gap. You know what I'm saying? So it was things like that that could come across as mean. But how many cover girls did you really see with big ass gaps in between their teeth? So when Tyra says it, it sounds like she's being a bitch. But girl, is she telling the truth though? America's Next Top Model was problematic. It was. Thinking back, Tyra had them girls on some wild shit on those shows. And the stories that we've heard about some of the girls and what they had to go through on the show is absolutely wild too. But I also think that Tyra didn't have, while Tyra was the face of the show, I, and Tyra is going to get the blame because Tyra is the face. It's kind of like Andy Cohen in a way. Andy Cohen don't call all the shots at NBC, Universal Bravo, but because Andy is pretty much the face of Bravo, every time something happens at Bravo, everybody's going to throw it on Andy because he's the face of Bravo. Even though there are probably 1,000 people, girl, who probably have more power than Andy. Tyra, I feel, is the same way. Tyra was a face of America's Next Top Model, so she's going to get all of the blame, even though, girl, there's a whole team and people who probably have more power than her. That doesn't take away from the fact that Tyra used to say some messed up stuff, and she was problematic. Some of the things she said, while it could have been considered problematic or negative, girl, it could still be the truth. Anyway, shout out to Tyra Banks. I think it's, and I don't think it's fair to say that now look at Tyra, she done gained all this weight, and she had what she said about the models. Yes, Tyra has gained weight. Tyra has filled out. Tyra is a 50-year-old woman. But the truth of the matter is, back then Tyra was telling the truth. That's just what it was. Shout out to Tyra. Shout out to America's Next Top Model. I wonder what some of the girls doing. I wonder what Robin doing and Shannon. Remember Shannon had all those teeth. Girl, girl, America's Next Top Model was my show, baby. Yes. Some of those girls were sickening too. They really were. Mm. All right, y'all. That's it for now. I will be back later because I want to talk about Candy and Tamika Scott, Latasha Scott, hear the mess that's going on over in Escape. All right, but yeah.